Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a cook and clean with me. I started off by having the kids help me unload the dishwasher. They always help do this. And then they also helped me clean off the dining room table. We're cleaning up after dinner, and then I'm going to be baking a blueberry bread. It's absolutely delicious, but we had a mess in the kitchen and we had to get that taken care of first. Then I needed to get dinner put away before I started baking. This dinner was a steak and gravy casserole that I got from Shauna over at the Dickinson Homestead. It was absolutely delicious, and it'll be in Sunday's What's for Dinner, and I will also have her video a link down below. But I'm just putting this into two separate containers, one for Andy to take for lunch the next day, and one just as leftovers for me and the kids to have or whatever. To get started with baking, I am going ahead and greasing my loaf pan. I just used the little wrapper from the butter. It still has a little bit of butter on it. I use that to grease it. And then I am putting a long piece of parchment paper in there to help kind of lift the loaf of bread out once it's done. Then I attempted to start on the blueberry bread and I just had a major fail. I scratched my arm on the microwave trying to get the melted butter out. So I added some butter and some egg to my mixing bowl, and then what I thought was vanilla was actually almond extract. And so I realized this and then had to toss it and start over. Okay, to the redo. I added 1/3 of a cup melted butter, 2 eggs, and half a teaspoon of vanilla this time, and mix that together. In a separate bowl, I stirred together 1½ cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and I give that a good stir. And then I measured out ½ a cup of milk, and I added the part of the flour into the egg mixture, and then my milk, and then the rest of the flour. Then I measured out 1 cup of blueberries and I added those to my bowl that I had done my flour mixture. And to the blueberries, I added about 2 tablespoons of flour. The recipe says that this keeps your blueberries from like falling into the bottom of your bread. And then I gently folded those blueberries into my batter along with the zest from one lemon. This was less lemon zest than the recipe called for, but I didn't feel like zesting more lemon, and also I didn't want it to be too lemony because the kids aren't like super fond of strong lemon flavored things. And then I poured that batter into my pan, and this baked at 350 degrees for 1 hour. Now back to cleaning. I had a ton of stuff to clean. The kitchen was a wreck. There were so many dishes. So I started off by putting away the stuff from baking, my flour, my sugar, my milk, all that stuff. I just put it away. And then I started working on the dishes. As I said, a ton of dishes. So I got the dishwasher loaded, and anything that I needed to hand wash, I got washed up. And I had to get my cast iron clean because that's what I cooked dinner in. And I shared this in a what's for dinner as like a little bonus at the end, but I just wanted to go through it again. I just cleaned this with hot water and this little pan scraper, and then I will also use my little scrub brush, but I make sure that there's no soap on it when I use that. And then I just dry it really, really well and rub it down with some oil. Once the dishes were all done, I cleaned out my sink. I've been using this Dawn Power for it. I love this Dawn Power stuff. It's the apple scent. The scent is a little bit strong, but I love how it works. So I use it for lots of different things. But I just let that sit for a few minutes, and then I scrubbed out my sink and rinsed it and wiped around it. Then I wiped off all the counters. I had all kinds of flour all over the counter. I always do this when I bake. I get flour everywhere. This time it wasn't too bad. And then I just wiped everything down with some Lysol spray. And now everything is clean and just have to wait for that blueberry bread to come out of the oven. So after an hour, I checked that the bread was done with a toothpick. It came out clean, so it was perfectly done. I put the pan on a wire rack and let that cool for a good 30 minutes. And then I made our glaze. I used the juice of 1 lemon, so 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and half a cup of powdered sugar to make that glaze. And then I just poured it over the bread. This blueberry bread was absolutely delicious. It wasn't done in time for the kids to have it as a snack before bed, but I got to have it as a snack before bed and I really enjoyed it. And then we got to wake up to a nice clean kitchen and the kids got to have a blueberry bread. But that is going to be it for this cook and clean with me. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget the links to the recipes that I mentioned will be down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.